Hello and welcome. This is the Pocket Programmer here with you. I've posted a few videos already, and it has recently occurred to me that some of you have no experience with programming whatsoever. So I figured I'd do a short tutorial series just on the basics of Python programming, maybe get you a little bit of a better understanding of some of the other things that we are doing here with our mobile devices programming. So, to start, I am using what is known as Python 3 IDE. And I'm going to display that here in such a way that actually makes sense with one of the first things you should learn. And it's this thing right here. The technical term is an octothorpe. You may know it as the pound key, the number sign, hashtag, and in Python programming it means that this is a note line. So I'm going to note that I am using Python 3 IDE. So if you are also on a mobile device right now, I recommend going to your App Store or Google Play or wherever you get your things. Search for that, download it, play around with it a little bit, and see if you can't open up one of these integrated development environments. Once you have done that, let's look at some more of the most simple things we can do with Python, or frankly any programming language. We need to first learn input and output. Output is very easy in Python. If you want to output something, you simply type print, P-R-I-N-T. You need to open parentheses, so you are telling it what to print. To start, we are going to do something very simple. I did a Hello World tutorial already, but let's do it again. Hello World is a common first thing to do in any programming language. So if I simply do print Hello World and run, I run by pressing the play button in the lower right. Because I'm using Python 3 IDE, every time I do, they ask me to subscribe. You can if you want to. I would almost recommend it. But all I need to do is press this back button and I can see. At the bottom of my screen, it shows what the program did. Python 3 IDE, we're using Python 3.7. It said it was running. It printed out Hello World, and then it ended. So that's pretty simple, but that's also a little too simple. So next I want to look at some input. And to get input in Python, you use input. And I'd love to say it's just that easy, but there's a little bit more to it. You can't simply say input and expect it to do anything. We kind of need to store that information somewhere. Think of it in terms of you're talking to someone on the phone and you need their address. And you say, okay, what is your address? And then you don't write it down. And maybe you as a human can remember that. But even in that sense, that person's address is being stored in your brain. If you write it down, it's being stored on a piece of paper. We need to store it somewhere, and we need to store it in a variable. So I'm just going to use A. A equals input. And then I need parentheses. Now, this in and of itself would work. However, I want to say what I'm asking the user to input. So how about we just ask them to type a number? So input, and then I put in quotes, so it will display type a number. So that entire expression, type a number, in quotes, inside the parentheses, inside this function input, which will be stored into the variable a, and then we're just going to do a very simple print a, telling the computer to output the thing that the user input. Now you'll notice I put a space between the two lines. That's not necessary. It's called white space. I like to use it just for readability. So when I run my program, it says type a number, 6, done. And you'll notice that I have 6, and then the line underneath that, the computer just output 6, and that was that. So this is a very simple first lesson. Hopefully you will subscribe to my channel, check out future lessons, and play around with Python. It's great stuff. Have fun. Take it easy.